Hello, everyone, and welcome to this actually secondary cast of CTL. Tonight we're going to be casting D5 finals. Today I'm alongside Murray. Hello, Murray.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My first time casting. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see this little matchup here. Since all 10 players are in room, we're going to speedrun the presentations real quick, starting with Fl2g, who we've seen face off against Asylum in the semis. Definitely a pretty strong showing from them and bringing their A game to the finals here. Delhi, Caesar, Malware, Marvin, Bowser bagging, probably their strongest, or at least one of their strongest lineups. We've seen them shift quite a bit across the season, but it's definitely either way on the really strong side. Marvin, really fast players, having a lot of great times in TTs. Malware and Caesar, pretty experienced in general. Delhi as well, showing plenty of experience with his first season on Flag. 20 points only because he played like only a GP, I'm fairly certain. But regardless, a pretty strong lineup coming into this finals here. And I'll just let Murray pass the baton to Murray to show the ZogZhit lineup.
All right, so ZogZhit's lineup is Rick, Fl2g, Rich Billion II, Kadran, and Waffle House. And I believe Sherm might sub in for Waffle House in bag matches 2 and 3 from what I heard. So like in the beginning of the season, they start at the bottom and like they climb their way to the top at the end of the season. Mainly because they beat ASY twice, so yeah. Alright, so Fl2g has been their top scorer since they first played CTL. You know, and he also a pretty fast player. Rick and Rich Billion have been playing with each other for a while for both RTs and CTs. And Kedron I don't know much about, but like with the average like that, I think he's gonna do pretty well as well. Waffle House? Oh, okay.
No, no, it's good. Unfortunately, yeah, we've
Yeah.
troubles with connections, so we've had to start off fairly quickly.
Yeah.
All players connecting much faster than expected. So let's just
Is that
get
right?
into it.
Alright, so this track's probably chose by ZogZhit.
Yeah, it is one of their main running tracks from what we've
Yeah.
seen, and already in top spots, actually top
Yeah.
3 with Malware behind them.
Yeah. I assume that Fl2g's gonna like try to get it breaking first, because like in the earlier version he was second worldwide. So I know he's like very comfortable driving this track.
Ooh, great pass from Malware with that TC, getting one of Zog's member already in the back, but Delhi in 4th, and I believe the top 3 is still held by Zog from what I've seen, and unfortunately that loop is not going to be enough for Malware to catch up. So with top 3 already broken, what are you looking for if you're a Flag here? Because this is a sitting track, so Shock, even if it's a cannon track, might not be your best option here.
Yeah, top 3 and the track being a sitting track, I think they could probably keep top 3 for a while unless and so for Shock and Knife, I assume it was Waffle House, so it'll give like top 3 a huge break, unfortunately for Fl2g.
Yeah, Malware and I believe sorry, not Malware. Malware and Caesar are both dodging, I believe. So now we're gonna be going into lap 2 with ZogZhit getting a huge break in top 3. Another mega pulled by
You
Flag.
see Caesar playing. Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, regardless, quite the top 3 break already. So either Bowser pulls another shock, or it looks like it's gonna be pretty much GG for this first race already. Actually, now that
wait, do I see another bagger going for it, or is that the runner? Actually, never mind. It's a runner. It's a runner. My bad.
Yeah, no, both baggers sitting at the set for
now.
Either pulling shock. Red's being thrown forwards. Unfortunately, a bit of a boring race to start us off, but it's pretty expected.
I don't think those red. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think those reds gonna do anything for Malware. So like, unless they pull like probably 2 blues and shock, yeah, they're most likely gonna get top 3 guaranteed.
Yeah, you're probably expecting like Shock Red into Dodge Mega to barely get into like 2nd or something along those lines. Bowser needs to pull, and both baggers actually went forward, so one of them definitely has. If it's Bowser, I'm expecting a Shock to come really soon. That pout targeting Billiam, so helping catch up a bit. And actually, Malware and Caesar.
They kind of help. They're 3-4, and now they're top 2. But Fl2g is like gone first, so there's no way you can catch up to him.
Getting the Mega on, trying to get Billiam. Unfortunately, not getting him, but allowing Malware. Actually, double Mega here, so they're just going to get into top 3 here.
That's a huge salvage coming from Fl2g. Top 3 going, and you get 2-3 at the end.
Yeah, I believe Billiam definitely hit an item there, and I believe someone no, not hit an item, he just got TP'd, and someone else in the front hit an item. I believe it might have been Kevjin that hit an item in like second, which allowed Malware and Caesar to get into 2-3 here. So even with that top 3 dodge at the start, 145, 145 definitely not the race you want on like your
Yes.
main running track.
Yes. That's like a +1, so I mean it's too early, so like it's still anyone's game, so let's not get too excited.
Absolutely, but I believe really that POW absolutely definitely changed the course of the race, getting 2 of ZogZhit's member not out of the race entirely, but slowing them down enough, whether through getting hit by an item or just TP out on the spiral that just allowed Fl2g to pop up.
Yeah, that was a good call from Fl2g. And now you see Fl2g choosing Starry Cityscape for 2-3.
Yeah, that's pretty much their usual track pick in 2-3. I'm not surprised to see it this early on. It might have been actually might actually been their evens pick. We didn't see the track selection, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was N64 Yoshi Valley. Waluigi in first,
Yoshi
and then
Valley.
drafting.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see something from the mid pack here. If it's Yoshi Valley,
It
but
chose
if it's Story,
no, it chose Story.
Yeah,
it chose Story. Yeah.
If it's Story, maybe get POV of the fronts to try and see how this first corner really goes out, because if you get into that rail, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I expect 2-3 to get in a row, and their bottom spots to get boxes, and hopefully get shrooms. And Malware fell off at the beginning.
Oh, the Kenzo startup boost, definitely not helping Malware. Caesar not even hitting him on his screen, but that's just gonna let Zog get first here.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you were in positions to really get ahead, and Waluigi not the one in first, but it's still already quite a bit. Not getting the draft too. That's really unfortunate.
It looked like Waluigi did get the draft, but he hit the off roll, unfortunately. And you see Marvin in first.
Most likely taking the double shroom cut, and Fl2g now in top 2 even after that fairly odd start. Caesar unfortunately not looking back, so we can't really see who's behind him for now, but it might be best to switch. Ooh, little clip there. Oh, actually Billiam in second now.
And you see Malware is going to take cut, and he makes it perfectly, so they could be top 2-4 or 1-3-4.
Well, with Billiam taking cut as well.
No, wait.
They're
1-3-4. 1-3-4 from Fl2g, yeah.
Billiam taking the cuts allows him to just stay on quite a bit. Ooh, that POW could be huge if he uses it correctly there.
It was like going to be a power red, but he somehow found a way to dodge it.
Yeah, getting the trick on the banister there. Billiam playing this perfectly, pretty much. I expected that POW a bit earlier on like the trick landing, but I guess they just didn't have the time to call it there.
Exactly.
Zog in 2-3. Now Caesar pulling trip reds there. Actually, it skips Waluigi going for Billiam there. So both Zog players getting bombarded with those reds. None of them hitting, thankfully, for Zog. So it's still going to be like 1-4-5 for Fl2g, with Marvin still staying in the front.
Yes. And you see Malware pulling triple reds. I'm not too sure who's behind them. Okay, it's both of ZogZhit. So like I expect him like either Schlag or just back them reds immediately.
I expect Fl2g to have shock, actually. I wouldn't be too surprised seeing one of the baggers sitting on the left path here. I think it's Bowser. I do believe I've seen Waffle House in the pack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Waffle House fell off like when we saw him, so I should assume that 498 has the shock.
Yeah, we saw him sitting there, so Bowser does have shock. Might be a TS there in second. It is.
Oh, TS with Waluigi. And Caesar off to like take the safe route, even though you could take the normal path while you're small.
Yeah, especially with that shroom, but he doesn't want to risk it. And Fl2g now in top 3 with Deli Dodge.
They're in top 3 now, yes.
Ooh, Deli getting hit out actually could be really bad depending on how Caesar takes that. Thankfully, he manages to take care of that POW fairly well, so it's still going to be top 2.
It's going to be like top 2 for Fl2g.
I think maybe top 2-4. I did see Malware somewhere close to the pack there, but I did see a bomb blow up as well, so We'll have to see on the race results. Overall, I will say I'm surprised to not see. I believe it was Caesar. Not going for the cut there while he was small, especially with the shroom. Because you have to compete with both Billiam and Waluigi that just respawned, and if you're going for the safe route, that respawn is not too far. It's really not too far off. So he could have gone past with Waluigi still being big. That's top two
And it
four
was like
six.
the
That's a
top
big
two
race for Flag.
four. Yeah, that's a huge race for Fl2g. So they should be up by 16.
That is the case. Thank you, Lawrence, already getting a head start on the scoreboard there. So Flag getting the first big race of this match. Not too surprising, I'd say, on Starry Cityscape. Definitely a track that they're really proficient at, even if it didn't show at the start of the race.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised as well.
Absolutely, but yeah, just Malware missing that startup boost and being messed up by Caesar there because of lag. Can't really do much about that.
Yeah, I can't blame him for that.
Probably should have stayed wide if once he realized that his start boost is like not optimal, but it's a really tough call to make in the moment, granted. We're having connection issue. Oh wait, never mind.
Marble Towers.
Interesting pick. I would assume from Flag.
I've never seen this before. Actually, never mind. Our team chose this track.
Ooh, so it is actually an off-list pick from Flag. I do know Flag2 likes Marble Tower, so I'm not too surprised to see it. But it is interesting to note that they're going off-list this early.
Yeah. Either that or Fortnite they probably fortunately pick it. Not playing. But yeah, I'm not surprised they're gonna choose a track like this. It's pretty janky.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of the discussion before this match was about track picks and about jank picks versus retros that we were talking about.
Yeah. And you see captains often take cut with 2 shrooms and 6. I'm not sure who's in
close.
Yes. I'm not sure who's in first.
Must be a Flag member, I'm fairly certain. It might be Caesar.
No, it's Rick.
Oh, never mind. So yeah, Marvin right on his tail actually. So could be interesting to see that duel in the front. See who comes out on top there. Marvin, a really fast player, so
yeah, I agree.
Gotta be careful with your Rick.
And Marvin already outlined him, so we're not surprised due to the fact he's a really fast player.
Yeah, showing off that speed right as we're talking about it, and going with Malware already pulling Shroom. This might be a top 2 really early if he can break this red. It's gonna be tough. Maybe going onto the half pipe.
And did not work out, unfortunately.
Pretty much tries every single tool he has, and none of them connecting. And getting his box stolen by Waluigi.
Getting his box stolen by Waluigi is unfortunate. But Deli's had a golden, and now they're 1-3 with Waluigi still in second somehow.
Depending on the item he gets, this could be really good. That red, if he doesn't get hit by that green, that red could be huge, depending on what Waluigi decides to do, if he wants to be aggressive or not.
It seems like someone has shock. I'm not too sure who though.
Interesting bit of lag there. Yeah, not sure who has. We unfortunately could not see who was sitting. Great back from
And that's
Waluigi.
a great green from Waluigi, but it's still 1-3.
Marvin having to hold up the front there. No trick from Deli and getting passed by Billiam. Could fall apart.
And there's no cannon dodge. And you see Caesar and who was in Bill.
Green bouncing. Thankfully not hitting anyone. Pack is still really close, especially for Mobile Towers. So could be a really interesting end of race depending on who has shock there. Waluigi now in front of Marvin as well, managing to pass him through all that chaos. So Flag now in 2-4.
You see Rich Billion taking cuts there right now. Flag should be top 2.
Oh, no,
top 3.
Marvin actually getting hit out. So yeah, Zoggin now top 3 going into this last leg of the race here. You gotta wonder where Rick is. Yeah, unfortunately our POVs are a bit spread out, but we do see actually Rick dodging in a star, so it's top 3-5 for Zog on Flag's track pick here.
Yeah, that's a huge one for them, especially with Fl2g choosing their track.
Yeah, Marvin managing to get ahead early, but just not managing to keep up the lead with all the chaos going on in the mid pack. Waluigi getting past him. Waluigi, great job, just in general, to hit out, I believe it was Caesar or Malware, it was one of the two, hitting out Caesar or Malware in third and getting past Marvin right after, just absolutely putting the team on his back there.
Yep.
So just have to see what the score looks like.
ZogZhit should be ahead by a decent amount.
They're ahead by 11 going into race 4 there. Pretty much just entirely flipping the script on Fl2g in just one race.
Yeah.
It is quite unfortunate that Zog had the shock with Caesar having the bill. So it was Malware getting back in third then since Caesar was in bill. But yeah, now going on to Wario Slime at Cataclysm, this is pretty much exemplifying what the difference in the track picks are between these two teams.
You going with a retro and a really jank track. Like a new jank track that has been in CDGP for a few months.
Yeah, Wario Slime at Cataclysm, quite the, I don't know if I want to say controversial, but divisive is probably a better way to put it. I've seen a lot of people talking positively about it. But GTN Mushroom Bridge, the retro, really strong runner as well. It could be really terrifying for Fl2g going into this.
And whoever's in fourth should watch out for first, as like they can get that box right there. He can like back immediately.
Yeah, I believe it was Marvin in fourth, so we're gonna have to see how he deals with that. TC being pulled past to Malware almost immediately. Rick choosing to bag. A single red, unfortunate. But Malware does get TC'd, so Malware is probably going to be in... Oh.
And he hits the truck.
Yeah, probably best to switch POVs there. But Zog in top 3, even with...
Yeah, right now they're in top 3 with Deli holding a red in third, passing him.
I'm choosing to throw it forward with Captain behind him, probably not wanting to hit one of his teammates, but the red breaks, Deli's still staying in third. It's going to be really tough for Deli to break through this.
It seems like someone has shock already. Yep.
It's used. It's definitely a Fl2g shock. Yeah.
It's Fl2g, yeah. It's Bowser. Yeah.
So Caesar should be in the front now. Definitely.
Yeah, he should be in first with his shroom. That's really good. I mean, as long as he doesn't get redded or anything like that.
Gotta dodge that random green, but he has enough of a break that he should be fine for the rest of his race. Probably just best to switch. Yeah, exactly, onto Malware.
Yeah, switch to Malware. Holding a blueprint 6, unfortunately.
Deli getting hit out.
Then hit by a truck.
Marvin in third, so 135 for Fl2g after that first shock could definitely be pretty big depending on how soon second shock comes. And there's a blue actually.
But he should be able to dodge it. Actually, no, POW happened. POW happened.
He was POW'd. Oh, he dodged POW!
Oh, he dodged.
That's huge from Caesar there, so Malware getting Mega.
Malware's going for a Mega, getting 1-4 right now for Fl2g.
Okay, there's second shock, this is huge, thankfully for Zog not connecting. Those trip reds are huge also.
Trip red's gonna be deadly. Oh.
Rick getting hit out.
No, it's a... Oh.
No, the fib, and Malware's off as well. That fib is huge from Zog.
Yeah, that's GG's for Malware.
Just a lot more chaos than I expected on this track, especially due to like that early shock being pulled by Bowser. Caesar, I don't know exactly how he dodged that POW, but either way, just getting maybe on the bridge, maybe dodging it on the bridge in some form. That might have been what happened.
Or probably a hot dodge, possibly.
Definitely would have been sick to see, but regardless, managing to keep that first place, making sure that Fl2g doesn't get utterly destroyed in that race, because otherwise 4-7-8. But that's pretty expected if you're Zog starting in top 3-5 on GCN Mushroom Bridge.
I mean, but it's still not that much of a losing race for Fl2g. It's probably like a -3.
It was -3, yes, indeed.
Yeah. So it seems like Waluigi is ending with a whopping 48-point GP. And with Caesar behind him with 41.
I will say Caesar was the big point scorer during semis against Asylum, so we'll have to see if he takes up that mantle.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, of course you know. A small reminder to the audience. Gotta remind them that might have not seen.
I mean, true. Yeah, him and Deli, they were popping off in the semis, so I'm not surprised if they do well.
Final grounds, DBA Sunset Wells. A bit more of an older tech track that we've seen from Fl2g towards closer to the end of the season, really. And final
choose FG.
I'm really interested to see how that first corner goes because I'm of the opinion that thinks it's a really good second track because you second can try and force out first here. So we'll have to see how it goes for Waluigi.
I wouldn't say it's that great for 2-3. I mean, it probably depends who's starting first, in my opinion.
I believe Caesar stays in 1. It looks really close from the onset here. A lot of items being spammed up.
Mm.
Malware actually in first, and definitely not the player I expected to be up there, but Flag in 145 coming up to this tunnel here.
Yep, and it seems like one of the baggers going in chain and 9 because he was unable to do the slow wheelie at the beginning.
I would expect it to be
It's probably Waffle House, yeah.
Telly scaring us a bit with that, but should be able to take the shroom cut coming up after this straight away here. Maybe backing Kevjin beforehand. Does not get him, unfortunately, but he does get in first, and here
He got
comes
the
the shroomless,
first.
boys.
Oh, that fit though.
Great Fip Snipe before that, but yeah, let's see. And actually getting Reddit as well. Caesar's the only one up there with a shroom. It could be big if he
Wait,
makes
a
it.
second.
Does make it. Shock is not used. Caesar makes it.
Yeah,
Great
but there's
back
a
as
blue
well.
though.
He gets on close to boost pound.
Oh, it's probably flag shot because they canceled.
Yeah, so actually Caesar just keeping that first, even with that second blue coming up, pretty much the exact same spot that the first blue came.
Yep.
Bit of awkward driving. Flag in 156 at the very least. Not sure where Mervin is. He might still be in the back.
He might be in the back.
Do believe he is. It is 2-3-4 for Zog.
Wait,
Great
I
banana.
saw a nana, but he still got first.
Thankfully, not enough to get it out. But 1-5-6-7 with your shock, definitely not what you're definitely not happy about that race if you're Flag. Yeah, just a bunch of between the two, like I'm not sure why they wanted to throw that blue so bad during lap 1 if it was Flag's blue, maybe getting a little bit too aggressive there because Caesar was in 1 with Shroom, so he was pretty safe overall as like the moment he took cuts, so there's a bit of aggressiveness allowing Willowy to get back up there and Caesar having to once again be the hero that his team needed to salvage at least a pretty decent race. Have to see what the next track pick prevails, but Zog actually fairly in control so far, Murray.
Yep, plus 19. I'm not surprised though.
Did you expect that going into the race? I know we talked about it a little bit, but I expected this to be a really close match overall.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of expected Flag to be up by a little bit, but like I'm not surprised that ZogZhit could be up because like I do see them play CT Lounge a lot, so like they're probably practicing these other tracks that aren't retro. So
yeah, they're forced to prac them during non-scrims, etc. But Ruinated,
Picasso. It is one of Flag's track picks.
Yeah, definitely one of their more obscure track picks. I do believe they're like one of the only 2 teams that picked this, so it'll be interesting to see how Zog goes with that.
Now let's see if both baggers will like hit the checkpoint, then go backwards. Because here, like both baggers go like past the finish line, then they're allowed to go backwards, which they did, so that's good.
Yeah, no -50, thankfully. Rick pulling a star already. I do believe that Flag is actually up there with Rick burning out at the start there in second. A blooper for Billiam, not what you want to see here, but Malware possibly with a much worse item.
I mean, it's the beginning of the race, so he should be able to come back, especially with a huge shortcut coming up.
Oh, good lord, Deli's delay. But yeah, so Flag is still quite in a good spot. I believe they're in top 3 now as Marvin takes the cuts. Early shock from Zog.
Early shock from ZogZhit.
That's a double star dodge in like 3-4. That's big.
Yeah, we've been seeing like a lot of early shocks this match so far. I'm kind of surprised about that.
Bowser is in 10th, I believe. Though. Oh, actually, no. He is in 9th by just a little bit. Guess that explains the early shock. Zog more confident that they can pull a second one after the double star dodge. That bump
like Rick.
That bump is horrendous for Rick, holy. Malware second time. But this time he does manage to pass it actually to Rick.
He passed it Rick, and he had triple stream, so that's unfortunate.
Let's choose to chain those into another triple shroom. Waluigi getting hit out as well.
Another shock.
Another, I believe it's another Zog shock as well.
Damn, Waffle House is popping off this race.
And we do see Zog in the top spots here. Deli and Caesar in 3-4. Kevjin and Billiam holding on to top 2 as we go into lap 3 here. 2 shocks just for top 2 feels a little bad, but at this point, if you're Zog, you just need... Goodness. A lot of connection issues, as we can see. Pretty typical of D5. But yeah, I do believe that Billiam should just stay in second here. I don't see a world where... Oh, Malware getting hit by Caesar. Quite a few communication mishaps for...
Great you see that bomb.
But unfortunately...
But it looks like they got 1-3-4 for... Or 2-3-4 for Flag?
I'm not certain, but really unfortunate of Caesar to hit that ground red after bomb sniping Billiam there. That could have been a much bigger race if that didn't happen. So yeah, that's still a big lose. That's still a pretty decent losing race for Flag there, I believe. Yeah, top 2, 5.
Oh, top 2, 5, 8. So
Hitting
yeah, he's gonna extend the lead by a little more. So Flag do need to catch up like right now. But that's after 6 races. So yeah, they have time.
We're past the halfway point of the war. Definitely down. Definitely not nearly enough for Zog to outright win. We're still in that top 4 range. That's really important to keep in mind. Those 31 points. But yeah, just
being minus 28 after 6 races is right now. It's not that much. It's not that huge of a deal. But like, I still recommend like changing that. Like try to get like a little big excuse me, like a little win in races like +5s and all that. Try to get back in the game like right away.
Yeah, it's a small. You have to climb the mountain one step at a time. Really, it's just a matter of like getting yourself back into the game. You have to remember, Zog got that race of like 2 shocks. That's really
2
big.
early shocks, and that bomb coming from ZogZhit at the very end.
Okay. We'll have to see.
New Moon Manor from Flag 2.
Yeah, Flag absolutely, and both in those spots, especially knowing them. 3-4.
Yeah.
No shrooms for Deli, unfortunate. We'll have to see if Morvin got some Caesar as well.
Yeah, and it seems like Waffle House. I don't think Waffle House knows how to do the bagging strat unless he's getting a shroom.
I do believe he's getting a shroom to make that bagging strat easier. I'm not sure if the Bowser has made it yet. Caesar getting to second already though.
It seems like one of them. No, they're still struggling.
Oh, Kevjin choosing to not go for it. So Caesar now in 1 guaranteed with that cut. That red from Rick shouldn't connect. We do see one of the baggers making strat. We're going to have to see who it is as we go towards them. It is Bowser.
Bowser 498. Not surprised.
Yeah, well, Waffle House going to chain in 9. Not too surprising there. No point in trying to catch up to Bowser when he's this far gone in 10.
And it seemed like Bowser had build, so he had to respawn.
That POW is pretty big. It gets Waluigi in air, so I'm expecting Waluigi to maybe have a golden or shrooms or something along those lines. He does hit the Goomba though.
I'm kind of surprised that Kevjin is going to keep his golden instead of doing the golden strat, unless I'm missing something.
No, maybe he just didn't know the full golden strat. It is a Flag track pick, maybe not one Zog is used to like knowing the more minute item plays too.
Oh, that makes sense.
Flag, I believe now in top 4 though, so if they don't have shock, this could be a huge race for Flag. 2 dodges for Zog, and there's the shock.
Like Waffle House put it in 9th. Unfortunately for 498. But he could put a second one like in the middle of lap 3 if he wants.
Yeah, great red. It's an early shock for New Moon Manor. Caesar keeping first regardless, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Billiam having changed shrooms or something along those lines.
He's chilling Nana, so mostly it's something that he doesn't have a shroom, but
Oh, I did great
that
catch on that
fib.
Nana and that Fib connecting, and I do believe it targeted a Zog member, but Fl2g pretty much unfazed by that shock, still now in top 3, pretty much.
It's top 3 gone.
Yeah, with Malware in 5th right behind them, so it's almost as if that shock never happened.
Yeah, like unless Waffle House pull a shock in 9th again, they most likely will keep top 3. But I do see a blue going for Caesar.
And
They
it hits
also went for
Marvin as well.
Marvin's as well.
Either it's split or just a lack of communication from Fl2g, meaning that Deli is
Like Caesar just like he could like cut this line or go wide.
Yeah, that's a classic blue call moment, one that many teams face, especially in lower divisions, but thankfully not hindering their race too much. Malware is pretty much the only one that's unfortunately staying in the back, but on New Moon you can't expect everyone to stay in the front. That's not how this track goes. So we're getting the streams back online. Thankfully, shouldn't take too long. But yeah, now Fl2g cutting that lead in half already, pretty much. So they're on their way to make it back into the lead here, as Lost Fortress has picked another Fl2g track pick.
Very often to go for. Oh, never mind. I thought he skipped the run just to go for like a lower box.
I believe one of Zog's members fell off, so he just preferred to go in front, not waiting too long, not wanting to contest his teammates. But Fl2g already in quite the lead, as Rick doesn't pull the shroom he needs to get back into that top 4. Captain shrooming up could be scary, gets redded, and Fl2g top 4, I believe.
Top 4, early top 4. Is there?
Oh, no DC, and one of Fl2g's members falling off, Caesar off as well. So I believe they just went for the rail shortcut and failed. So Fl2g only in top 2-4 now.
Oh, I forgot about the rail shortcut.
A bit of a so the blue is thrown for Marvin. Shouldn't be too much of a big deal.
It is supposed to be top
2-4.
Top 2-4 or top 3.
Caesar is hard contesting for that third here. Another
and
blue.
There's another blue from ZogZhit.
That is big. That's pretty much this entire lead being cut, and that triple red is big, especially as Marvin backed onto the cut. Mega and Star for Zog. I've not checked the bagging, like what the bagging looks like.
One of them's going forward. I'm not sure who though.
Another TC from Malware. I feel like we've seen a lot of this match.
Bro, it's a TC magnet, unfortunately.
Pretty much. That's bottom 3 for Fl2g. If Bowser does not have the shock, this could be disastrous for the Fl2g team that barely got back into the groove of things, as Marvin stays in first. Zog, a bit of team kill after that fail, but shouldn't be too much of a big deal, as they're still in 2-3-4.
And there's another blue.
Okay, it is cancelled. Double dodge from Fl2g.
Double dodge from Fl2g, yep.
That's big. That's pretty much what you need. But Mega.
And Rick pulling the Mega right after shock, so that's pretty huge.
I saw a blue explosion. Not sure what that was. Maybe just a bit of lag. But yeah, that's a big Mega pull. Though I do think Fl2g should stay in top 4, top 2, sorry, especially as Deli takes cut there. They have a big break in top 2. That back green barely not connecting. Zog getting into 3, 4, 5. A bit of bumping there. Gotta be careful not to hinder your teammates too much. No one going for the rail. Could be interesting to see if anyone goes for it, really. Marvin, I believe Marvin is on the rail with a bit of lag. Oh, actually, never mind. He
wasn't.
Gets threaded. With the lag, it is often the case that you... Oh,
we got started by his own teammate, unfortunately.
That's quite unfortunate. I do believe that Fl2g is dead last, unfortunately.
Yeah, Fl2g like top 2, 4, 6? Or top 3, 6?
Top 2, 6, 8.
Top 2, 6, 8.
Malware is gone in 8, so it's top 2, 6, 8 for Fl2g. With 3 blues, honestly, you take it.
Yeah, I will happy to take that if you still get blue 3 times.
So yeah, still winning a race regardless of those 3 blues. Thankfully, Bowser pulling the shock to cancel that 3rd blue and getting Deli and Caesar a dodge and star there. And now they're we'll have to see. They're up by 10. They're up by 10. So winning race by 5 for Fl2g, regardless of those triple blues. They're definitely fighting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much spelling for scraps. So that's all you can do, really. That's. Have we seen? I don't believe we've seen that many blues before that race, really, have we?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I believe like we've seen like 2 or 3 blues max, and we've doubled that amount in a single race. So yeah, now down 10 with 4 races to spare. There's definitely more than enough.
Yeah, they need like a top 2-4, and they're back in it. Actually, like a top 2-5 even.
Yeah, with only 10 points, definitely just top 2-5 or something along those lines, and we've seen that they can get those races. At this point, Mr. Bean can be a cruel master here, depending on what track picks go for, and here is
and they're going for
Volcano.
Tide Volcano. Uh-oh.
There it is. As a small reminder for the viewers, any tracks that is picked in this match cannot be picked for match 2, and any tracks picked during match 2 cannot be picked for match 3. So if Cryo Volcano comes out, and there it is.
They could choose Tide Cryo Volcano match 3 if they want.
So we'll have to see if all that training on Cryo Volcano from Fl2g paid off. That is pretty much ZogZhit's signature track. I believe it was their first pick in the draft as well.
I think this is gonna be pretty interesting because like both baggers know how to do the bagging strat pretty well, consistently.
Fl2g, I don't agree with Fl2g's play here. A lot of people just going into the front here where Zog just bags a bit, gets some shrooms, and even though Fl2g gets TC'd, oh never mind, he passes to Caesar, passes back to Fl2g, thankfully.
Wait, hold up. I think there's a pen from Lost Fortress.
Ooh, is there?
It's coming from Delhi.
Wait, that has come from Delhi. If that's the case, then Fl2g are already in the front, which you need with Zog already in top 3 on this track, but Malware, that triple shroom can be big on this track. Starting with that cut right here, but we do see Rick cutting as well, so he's going into second.
It seems like Waffle House bumped Delhi off.
Oh yeah, that Lost Fortress pen, that's definitely going to be a -20. So Fl2g up 10.
Yeah, Fl2g's up by 10 after that.
But Zog definitely playing their track well as expected, being top 3-7 going into the ice transition. What defines this track, really?
Yeah.
There's the star. We do see both baggers still going backwards. I'm not sure if it was pulled yet. Oh, actually, one of the baggers stopping. Not sure exactly what happened there.
I think both baggers were shrooming.
One of the baggers actually gets starred by Malware, forced into another star there. Caesar and Mega, if there's a Fl2g shock, it has to come now.
Yeah, it has to come now. Both are in dodges right now.
Unfortunately. Oh, that back bomb could be big depending on where he chooses to back it. While he chooses trimming in front of him, so Zog still in a lot of top thoughts here. Another Mega, goodness. Gotta be careful of Caesar here, don't want to Mega your own teammate. But Zog proving why they're so dominant on this track pick. That's top 3 from them.
Top 3. Top 3-7. I see. Which is a really huge trade from ZogZhit.
I do believe a lot of that comes from the start of the race. We saw Fl2g just get into top 4 immediately.
Yeah.
So that means no shrooms, no dodges, no nothing. And
yeah,
Zog can just catch up after.
Yeah, like Fl2g who were in the ones who were in the bottom spot, like they could have went to the bottom round and get lower spot boxes and hopefully get shrooms.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you gotta consider how much time that first grass cut saves. If you get like trip shrooms at the start on that bottom spot, you pretty much are in second with 2 shrooms already.
Exactly.
So right as we were saying that Fl2g clawed their way back up with that -20, they're now down 9.
It's always like they don't care about the -20, they're still going to win.
Great job by them to not get shaken up by that. Thank you, Lawrence, for adding that pen to the table. But yeah, counting that -20, it's still -9. So
I mean, still
Zog
doable.
back in the lead.
It's still easily doable for Fl2g to get back up and win this.
Oh, absolutely. 3 races left. Three points per race is pretty much nothing, really.
Yeah.
In lower divs.
Yeah. I know he's new, but like he's been practicing a lot. Like,
Actually, voice cataclysm
Yeah.
got chosen as we're back on the stream, and no one taking the double shroom cut actually at the start of lap 1.
But Kevin's often uses star pretty early, trying to get up there a little bit. But unfortunately, pulls a blooper in 4th or 3rd.
Fl2g in top 2 actually. A lot of people just falling off there.
Wait,
The
hold
track's
up.
still new.
Wait. Before I made a bagging strat already.
Wow, that's really early to make it too. So he's just gonna be able to permit chain in 10 with Fl2g already in top 2. Unfortunately. Yeah, I believe Lawrence's internet not appreciating the match quite a bit, but regardless, Fl2g's gonna be probably holding on to that top 2 unless anyone on Zog can get those triple shrooms before the cuts. Doesn't seem to be the case. Deli actually getting redded here.
And Kevin not paying attention.
That bomb. Thankfully for Deli not connecting.
So they still won 3 after that red.
I do think actually maybe Deli or Marvin. That is an
That has to be a
interesting
flag
shot.
shot.
That was definitely a flag shot, but it just TS Deli, so unsure as to what happened here. Actually, Zog getting some dodges in, so I do think it was a Zog shock, just Caption not being able to react in time. Yeah, we're gonna have to say to Caption's POV as he stars up, unfortunately, but actually, someone falling off, I do believe it was a Fl2g member, so Fl2g being pretty much like 4 out of the bottom 6, something along those lines. Oh, never mind, Marvin actually is all the way
Marvin
up
the
there.
only one first.
Captain having to use those triple shrooms means he can't make the cut, which is quite unfortunate, but he might just be able to red malware here, depending on whether or not he passes Waluigi, which is not the case. Red skipping Deli, and it breaks. Really unfortunate red for Captain.
And it feels like someone's going for a 2 shroom cut.
Chalk from Fl2g. It could be very well curtains for Fl2g here in this match 1, because that's most likely top 3, maybe 6 or something along those lines for Zog. When you're already ahead, it could be devastating for Fl2g to try and catch back up in just 2 races. Unfortunately, the stream comes back up as the race ends, so we're gonna have to see what
like
this
Kevin
looks
got a
like.
bad spot because it's fucking calm.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but it is a big race for Zog, I believe, still. Yeah, top 2, 5, 6. One of Zog's top 3 getting hit out at the end, but that blue spelling disaster for Fl2g.
I'm kind of surprised that they got a good race on a track like that.
Well, once again, we have not seen we've seen a single 1 lap 3, but we have not seen a single double cut from Fl2g. I don't know if it's pressure from the finals or something along those lines, but I'm surprised to see none of them.
No, someone took cut on lap 3.
Yeah, aside from that, I'm just surprised that like no one took cut on lap 1. There's no way no one had triple shrooms or golden, right?
I didn't see anyone, but probably someone who weren't streaming should have streams, but I guess they were playing it safe.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, playing it safe there, it's not really an option anymore because now you're down 24 going into the second last race.
If so.
The straightaway here is rather short, so it's a pretty tight timing for a draft.
It makes sense, yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking.
No, the second straightaway can definitely be doable, but it's much less likely. Zog still in top 2. Gotta make sure to not hit those blue fireballs. Has hit many people in lower tiers. But yeah, still top 2. Actually, I believe it's top 4 or even something along those lines for Zog. I see a lot of Zog right behind Rick there. And it is top 4 actually.
Yeah, it is top 4.
Oh goodness.
And right now, Waffle House in 10th. A little bit.
I'm not sure. It's really close. The bagging battle is really close so far. Yeah. Bowser could very well be the savior for Fl2g at this point.
Yep.
Oh, big TC from Kevin, chaining in third. When he gets hit out. So yeah, now Caesar getting into 4th there, but he hits the fireball.
He got hit by a fireball, which makes top 3 have a bigger break. Marvin hit a fireball. Well. But they kept their red, so that's pretty good.
Great pow from Fl2g here. He does get Billiam, so that's 3-4 for Marvin and Caesar, but you need more than that, especially if
Yeah.
Bowser is in 9th. Quite scary, but do hold on. That's a big break from Waluigi and Ricky there. You probably need 2 blues at the very least, or a Mega Dodge.
Look,
That
it
is
looked like
really
Waffle House didn't
huge.
have shock. I just saw him respawn.
There's the Flag Shock.
That's the
That
shot
could
from
be...
Bowser for 98. And he put two strings, but they hit the Nana.
he should still get into second. Never
And he
mind.
fell off. Dude, what are you doing?
Oh, that's really unfortunate, especially as the blue is pulled. That could have been huge from Flag, but Caesar, pressure getting to him, especially after that Nana, and he just stays in the back there. Malware, another TC being pulled, which he's passed it to his teammate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the person you want to pass it to, but
I was just
yeah,
kind
that
of
is top
curtains.
2. That's top 2
Yeah.
for Zog. That's curtains.
Yes. I mean, unless Flag gets. I mean, unless Waffle House gets a pan for some dumb reason, then. Yes, curtains for Flag for match 1.
I would doubt it this late into the or really you just play safe at this point. But yeah, that shock, that's just really unfortunate because Caesar probably just wanted to spam those shrooms up as soon as he can, and he got a slip going into the ramp here, so that means he just hits the wall and falls off.
Yeah.
Probably feeling a bit of panic from the fact that they were so far down going into that second to last race. Main point scorer from Flag cracking under pressure. I feel for him really because at this point it was really do or die. Yeah, top 2, 4, 6. I do believe it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it's over.
It is, yeah, plus 43. So unless unless Waffle House somehow stars 2 of Flag's members or like is he backclaused? No, I don't believe he's backclaused even.
No.
So a minus 50 is out of the question.
He's the only team he's playing for, so he could run if he wants.
Yeah.
But
So
even if
pretty
he
much
runs, it wouldn't matter.
no, it definitely won't. Even then, running would actually prevent him from getting any pens, so it would be perhaps be preferred just to make sure. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much match 1 done. The Flag not calling the forfeit yet, so probably hoping to burn 1 track before going into match 2, possibly. GBA Skyguardian, interesting. That's not the one I would have thought of.
I probably would chose Blessed Blah Bluff.
Yeah, same. That's the one I expected pretty much because it's like one of those it's one of the only really techie tracks that Zog is really good at, and one that a lot of teams just haven't practiced because it's a really odd track in general.
Yeah, and it chose Pipe Underworld, unfortunately for a Flag too.
So that's gonna be 1 running track off for Flag, a really strong one as well. Though maybe perhaps not as strong as some others, because getting the shock into a cannon there if you're behind can absolutely turn a race around in a matter of seconds.
Yep.
And we do see both backers running, yeah, just making sure there's no pens. So it is going to be a race played for nothing.
Run. Just trying to have fun.
Unfortunately for us, it does mean 3 minutes of pretty much nothings.
Yeah.
I will say though, quite the dominant showing from Zog to start off here, because even with a minus 20, you're up 43 going to the last race.
Yeah, that's really impressive coming from Zog. Even with the janky tracks, like they did really well on.
I do believe a part of it is Flag getting a bit of bad luck, because we've seen a lot of TCs from Malware. We've seen many shots, but Zog have absolutely deserved to win by that much. They've played really well aside from a couple team kills, but in this low of a div, it's pretty much expected.
I kind of find it funny because, like I said, in the introduction, like they started at the bottom, and like since like the bottom of this div, like they were last place for a little bit.
Just maybe having a little bit of season turnaround, but yeah, it's. Zog for the longest time, I believe, have just been like bottom div all the time until like really recently. So it is interesting to see that they've slowly clawed their way back up. Even if it's second to last div might not seem like a lot, but still a div jump from like top of bottom div to top of second to bottom div is definitely still a pretty big jump.
Yeah, I don't lie. There are like a lot of underrated teams this season, like a lot.
I bet
Like,
that's just the nature of bottom divs though. Like
yeah.
there are a lot of just dark horses.
I mean, I'll probably say any teams from like D3 all the way down to D6, like they're like seated bottom, but like they made to playoff. Like
Yeah,
take my team for example, Fl2g, we were like seated fifth, but we made playoffs. But that's mainly because AT was our carry. But
yeah. I was about to say your team is probably one of the biggest examples in that. Just having that clutch factor really that matter in a lot of wars, and of course AT being
yeah,
a really decent runner for
yeah.
Division 3 on that Rosalina. But regardless, Caesar just having a pretty much free run so far. It's Pipe Underworld, it's Fl2g's track pick, it's pretty much used to it. Though maybe a shock coming out. Actually, no, I believe Bowser is like pretty much in 10th. Oh no, it's Waffle House actually.
Waffle
So
House.
could be a last second shock from Zog to ruin Caesar's point scoring dreams once again.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
blue.
and there's the blue.
I mean, I don't do that much since he's on the boost panel.
I'd still lose him a little bit because he can't finish on the boost panel, but
Wait, Fortnite. Wait, I thought Fortnite was in second. Damn.
he was in second for a little bit, but I do believe he got hit out. Someone shrooming up. Malware, actually.
Oh,
There's the Zog shock. Double dodge. Oh, actually, Marvin dodging in Star and
Marvin.
Waluigi in a Mega. Waluigi absolutely ending that shock for the sake of points.
What's Fortnite 8 at? Okay, he got 7th. Okay.
Yeah, Waluigi ending this race with ending this war with 117 points. Actually double breaking. Sorry, double break of 100 here with Rick actually getting above 100 as well. So, showing that while Waluigi is the main point scorer for the team, he's definitely not alone in that race.
Yep.
Winning by 36, a small winning race for Fl2g, but unfortunately too little too late, still up by more than a top 4 after race 12.
Yeah.
But I will say, a lot of crucial tracks being taken from both sides going to match 2. Cryo Volcano, GCN Mushroom Bridge, like those are tracks that might hurt to not have in certain spots in match 2, though obviously match 3 being the most important one if it does come, you do have those crucial picks back.
I mean, they still have tracks like Dino Jungle, Sunset Ridge,
Sunset
and Yoshi
Wild.
Valley. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. I don't play retros. I'm Aura manager. What the fuck's wrong with me? Yeah, Sunset Wild and
BC2, some other just GCN.
Or retros.
Rainbow.
I think pretty much retros, like flat tracks. To be honest.
Yeah, Bluster being of course the one exception, and I'm honestly really curious to see what that looks like. As someone that knows how to drive it properly, it will be pretty interesting to see how lower div teams deal with that on Fl2g side, especially since they've been more focused on Cryo Volcano.
Yeah. I mean, I say with that try, I would say like push shrooms, take cut, and just run.
I feel like you could say that a lot. You could say that about a lot of tracks, but yeah, that is valid.
I mean, true, but I mean, with this track, it's probably valid. Yeah.
Especially if you can get that upper path on the shroom cut there. The KC stream definitely helping save that much time. But actually, from Fl2g, a lot of crucial track picks that we've not seen yet, like SDI, Cruel Angel's Thesis, Fort Francis. A lot of those, Super Sky Courtyard is also one that especially trips up a lot of teams. So we're gonna have to see if those come up during the next match.
Yeah, I guess they're saving it for this match, hopefully. And they also have other tracks that they can choose off from other teams.
Yeah, you got to consider that's a big part of this playoffs run that a lot of teams might not consider is that you can pick from any division's track picks. Well, we've seen them pick from I believe actually Undiscovered Off Limit was not their track pick. No, it was
Geometry Dash's team.
Yeah, it was GGG's track list. So that's one example, but
yeah, and it also chose Marble Towers from ASY.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, that is also not there. So Fl2g may be a bit more flexible in terms of track picks, but perhaps they should focus on their own more. Some would say skill issue tracks quite a few on Flag's side.
I mean, I kind of wouldn't want to say that, like, due to the fact that ZogZhit got top 2 on, like, on one of the most janky tracks in the pack. So
That's fair. That's fair. But it is like SDI, Super Sky. A lot of those can trip up a lot of players if they're not really that comfortable driving on it for a proper race and not just TTs.
yeah. I mean, SDI is not that hard to drive. Just watch out for the Shy Guys and the bomb car lag. You should be fine.
Yeah, but that's something you might not experience too much in TTs because those are really set cycles, but you're never on. You're never
I mean, for
on those
TTs, you really don't have to worry about them. But like, I mean, like online playing, you gotta be careful.
Absolutely. I do know Flag. If SDI is picked, I am expecting Flag to have one big advantage. That's the ending cut. I know a lot. I know some of them are really comfortable making that last rock, which can be a bit of trouble for a lot of people that are not used to SDI. So could be that last bit of time save at the end of a race that could really matter. But we'll have to see if it gets fixed. So yeah, looking back at the match, yeah, you can really see Caesar 101 and all of his teammates hovering around the 70 range. Caesar was just, it feels like he was definitely just in the top half during a lot of those races, really.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I think Caesar's underrated because like I haven't seen him play. Like I haven't seen CT War like since until I don't know last year, like 2024. So
Yeah,
like I really didn't expect him to score like this high, like early on.
He's definitely more so a newer player. He comes up, for those that do not know, which I'm expecting is quite a few of our watchers here. He actually comes from MKDX. Pretty strong player in that game, so he's making the transition to Mario Kart Wii, and he's been improving quite a bit both on the RTs and CTs. It's been really interesting to watch, and he might actually transition to Fl2g going into next season. We're currently deciding on that.
Oh, is Flag still gonna have 2 teams next season, or?
Well, our host might be able to get a bit more of a precise answer on that, but I do believe that yes, we're still going to try and get 2 teams going. It's just a bit of quite a few roster changes with Loki, for example, moving to MI next season, so lots of potential roster changes in that regard. And Sherm, actually, you were right, subbing for Waffle House in match 2.
Yep. Like Bowser, they told me that he wants to bag versus Sherm badly, so I'm kind of excited to see the bagging battle. I'm not sure how good Sherm is because I haven't seen him bag much, but I don't know. He might be really good.
Yeah, I'm not exactly certain of Sherman's bagging prowess either, but Bowser and Sherm just a lot of servers together. They know each other fairly well, so I'm expecting that's why Bowser really wanted to bag against them, just having a friendly bagging match into finals here. We're just gonna have to see how this goes for both baggers here. So waiting for the second room to fill up. Seeming a lot of issues in terms of just a lot of issues in terms of let's try again of connection in the DNC versus Pancake match going on right now as well.
Are they on match 2 now?
Yes, they are. DNC won match 1 by 48. You gotta remember, Clay being out is a huge blow to Pancake. It's their best player by quite a wide margin.
Yeah. Yeah, no offense to Orca, but yeah, Clay to Orca is kind of huge. Next to me. I'm not saying Orca is bad. Like he's really fast, but like I think he needs to work on his item usage. That's pretty much the case with most line bots in lower div.
That is correct. That is correct. It's just you gotta remember Clay has experience in like Div 2, Div 3, so he has that high div mid pack experience that Orca definitely doesn't have. So it's still quite the shift, even if both players are really fast in their own regard. I'll have to check how many players are in room so that we are not yapping for zero reason. Well, thank you, Lawrence,
3.
actually, for allowing us to see. Bit of trouble connecting. Wainfly's been having issues since the start of the evening, so not too
I'm not
surprised to see a
surprised.
bit of trouble there.
Like since the developer win, like been having health issues. Like yeah, 1-5 has been going downhill. So that's unfortunate.
Hopefully, we'll reverse Castor's curse this and 2 players joining the room much faster, thankfully. Either way, Murray, what are you expecting out of the second match? Do you expect Zog to keep on their dominating streak?
That's a good question.
It's purely speculative.
I mean, they did really well in match 1, so I guess as long as they keep their momentum, I guess they will do really well in match 2.
I feel like in those...
But I wouldn't sleep on Flag either, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. I feel like in those lower divs, when you perhaps don't have as much experience in competitive, mainly competitive Mario Kart Wii, but just competitive gaming in general, one big race can absolutely get a mental swing in any team's way, really. Being down something like 30 in a single race can absolutely bring a blow to your mental, so those big point swings do matter a whole lot more in lower divs, in my opinion, because there's the mental side to it. Like, you see high div, like a lot of teams, like, for example, 6C, like, pretty much any high div team in general, even if they get top forward or anything like that, most of the time they just end up laughing it off, and they're like, yeah, okay, go next race.
Yeah.
Of course, you do have some online experience on Fl2g side, on both sides, really, so at that point,
it's like Waffle House is still bagging instead of Sherm.
Oh, it is actually. Okay, so actually, Waffle House bagging one more match, possibly just a few more GPs. We'll have to see how it goes, just for the next few races, really.
I assume that since ZogZhit is doing well, they might just keep him in LU. So we'll see how he's gonna do with this match.
Yeah, one track that I'm expecting out of Fl2g right now, I'm calling it, is Banished Keep, because they have picked it quite a bit in scrims, and they picked it. They picked it during semis, and well, sorry to bring back bad memories, but they performed quite well on it. But never mind, actually,
Right.
proving me wrong. With Fort Francis, another track pick that's well, compared to Banished Keep, a lot less common, really. One of the new running tracks on the block, which will get picked. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top at the end of that first cut section, which can be quite deadly with the bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep an eye on Malware so far. Going to be expecting to hold on to that first as the host. Waluigi already bumping him
They got
off.
bumped off by Waluigi.
We see Caesar in like third, Marvin in second, so 2-3-5 for never mind. I believe Waluigi got hit out by his own teammate, so Fl2g now top 2.
I will see if they'll be able to keep these top 2.
That's a big start for Fl2g. Just a lot of items hitting onto Zog right now, whether from their own teammates or Fl2g, really. That trip Nana could be huge as Billiam is forced to work around those. And never mind,
Oh, nope.
ahead.
It bumped him off the stream list.
Interesting nanas. Marvin should be able to stay in first here. That's unfortunate.
And Caesar put TC in third. That's unfortunate.
Well, forcing Waluigi to shroom like it's more than enough. Maybe able to pass it to one of the baggers. No, it's a bit too late for that.
And he got comboed.
Rick holding a
You
star.
see Rick holding a star in 7, and both baggers are sitting.
Fl2g in quite bad spots overall, aside from Marvin, like 4, 6, 8 so far. So Marvin the 1-0. Interesting green there. Did not even see that behind the cat. Perhaps better to switch for this because I'm expecting Rick to hold on to that star for a while longer. Yeah.
I think I saw Caesar with a star.
Actually, actually Malware into second. So top 2 for Flag with Caesar and Deli in the back. Surprised not to see a Snike here. Could be carrying a dodge and a high spot or just shrooms overall. Have to see how it goes.
And I assume Malware might go for Shroombox if he knows how to, which he didn't.
Oh, he already has a shroom. Marvin doesn't go for it.
I mean, yeah, Marvin, not Malware. My bad.
No worries, no worries. But yeah, regardless, I feel like Marvin has enough of a break that he prefers to like potentially back or anything along those lines, or either that or he has a shroom already.
And that's
Get
probably
in.
a flag shock. Like after taking cut, they shot them off.
Would not be surprised to see that. Ooh, that is okay. Malware
Oh,
choosing
good.
to hold back at the end there. Really glad to see that. Kepjin
Well,
dodging and shooting up. That's 1-3 for Flag.
1-3 for flag. 1-3-6.
1-3-6-7. So decent raise. I'm honestly not sure which shock that was. I'm gonna be entirely honest. I do think it was Flag, but was it
I would say it
really
was.
weird shock?
I would say it was a flag shock, in my opinion. They probably call like after. I think it was Caesar. No, Malware taking cut. Yeah.
That was indeed Malware taking cut and possibly calling after, but I just believe that they had like they had enough of a break to hold on to top 2 there, and that just allowed Kepchen to get back up there. I don't believe anyone else from Flag really dodged, so pretty awkward awkward race overall. But still a winning one, and that's what matters really.
A +3. Good start. Good start for flag.
Ooh, actually, ooh, interesting. Okay, so Caesar actually pinged me onto something here on the Mushroom Bridge race we were talking about. He actually dodged a first blue on the bridge, then Pau came, then he dodged a second one with the ground shroom.
Oh.
So definitely not what we expected, but definitely a pretty interesting play overall. Siberian Chateau, pretty typical 1-3 race, 1-3 track really, but Yoshi Valley.
Yoshi Valley.
I'm interested to see that one though. Cut can be a huge clump of chaos depending on what is backed on it, so. I will say a lot of mistakes I do see a lot of lower players make is they think cut is a lot tighter than they think it is. You can actually make it from a bunch of different angles depending on how you approach it, depending on how it's backed, so.
You're talking about the Shroomless?
Yes, the Shroomless. Ooh, and Kepjin immediately backed by Deli, having to pass that TC to a Billiam. TC battle going on in the back there. Deli coming up.
It seems like Deli lost the hot potato gang.
Ooh, Malware and Marvin. Actually, I believe Waffle House getting trailed by Marvin, so unfortunately not able to back onto Waluigi, but that means Bowser should be in 10th now. Oh.
And unfortunately, Mario got hit by the Yoshi egg.
That is another thing that is a big choke point for a lot of lower spot players, lower diff players not knowing how to play around that, but Flag now in top 2.
They top 2 going with Waluigi right behind him.
Choosing to go into the left path. I agree with that play, to be honest. It is slightly faster. You're not risking a snipe, and you're not getting any higher boxes by going right path anyway. Great back onto Waluigi.
Nice. But Caesar fell as Shroomless after backing, so that's unfortunate for him.
Possibly not TFing hard enough. So yeah, now ZogZhit in 2-3 after that Nana that I was praising. Ooh, that
With Rick, oh, that I don't like that egg. Every time he does that.
Yeah, that little bump on the pillar there can be quite terrifying. But so are those 2 reds as people are going to shroom up. Yeah, Caesar and Deli forced to stay behind Rick, forced to respect that red. One of them's probably going to have to just take it for the team here.
Smart move from Dunson to try to take the opposite route of Rick.
Ooh, that Mega could be
And see
big.
Caesar holding a Mega, that's pretty huge.
We do see both baggers still going backwards, so unsure as to who could possibly have...
Fortnite. Ooh.
None of them having, I believe, for the time being. That shroom is huge, but Waluigi pulled a shroom.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
Waluigi, that shroom in second means that he does get first here. Slag gets 2-3. 6, 7, I believe. 8 is
So
way too far
2, 3,
gone.
4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 from ZogZhit.
Oh, actually, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I believe someone was shrooming up at the end. I believe I was confusing the last runner for the bagger. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3,
I'm
4,
not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean 1.
2, 3, 4, 6.
Wait.
2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6.
Oh.
Sorry. No. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5. I believe it's 1, 4, 5, 6 for Zog. Quite the mess at the end there. We'll have to see, regardless. Either way, winning race for Zog, but like pretty much nothing. But it's enough to get them back into the lead by 2 points,
By
regardless.
2 points, but not a lot though. 1, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 1, 4, 5, 6. So winning race, not by much, but it is enough to get back into the lead here. Really unfortunate for Marvin, dominating that entire race, and then Waluigi just getting that shroom pull in second allows him to get past at that ending cut there.
Yep.
I will say though, definitely unfortunate for just Caesar failing that cut in second there. Definitely could have tried and contest Waluigi a bit more if he was still in the front with Marvin. Still, regardless, it's only race 3, but it's definitely nowhere near, especially with only 2 points difference. Definitely
Yeah, it's only
nowhere
2 races, so like, Hell Pyramid.
Hell Pyramid, another track they've stolen from another track list, and this time being DAG. Though I've seen them pick that a lot in scrims, so I'm expecting them to be pretty comfortable.
Hopefully PO2 is watching this, and never mind, chose GB in the road from ZogZhit.
The caster's curse is in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. But regardless, yeah, GB Rainbow Road, especially being 145, I'm fully expecting just abuse drafts here to try and get up here.
Yes. And that's like one is to drop to go for Bill because the bagger needs streams to go backwards.
Absolutely. We do see Rick taking cut, but not get an item, so he could get hit out very easily here. But Red going for Marvin actually manages to break it on the fire, I assume. So Marvin stays in second barely. It's a bit of a battle in the mid-pack here. Marvin forced to concede, doesn't know what item Rick has, but it's nothing really. He hasn't seen him use an item since the start of the race.
Yep.
Anyone hitting that fireball? Thankfully not. But yeah, Zog should just stay in top 2 for quite a bit. Oh, that is...
Oh.
That's unfortunate.
Seems like Waffle House about to go for a strat. Same with Bowser 498.
There's the red. Thankfully, Rick managing to fix his mistake by breaking that barely, but losing a bit of time in the process.
Seems like someone took cut. Or... Oh.
He's on the left of Rick there. It's kind of hard to see, but Rick stays in second regardless.
It looks like one of the beggars made it backwards. I'm not sure who it is for now. It could be 498, but I could be wrong.
We're gonna have to see. It is Waffle House.
No, it's Waffle House.
As expected, the bagger making the strat that his team picked. But yeah, that's a huge moment for Zog, especially if you're already like top 2-4 or something along those lines. Marvin
getting hit by a fireball, unfortunately.
Top 2-5-6, I believe, something along those lines. For oh, actually no, that is malware. That's actually my bad. So it is pretty much like top 3-7 or something along those lines for Zog.
And you know, like Zog has shock.
Probably just choosing to hold it really, because even with that mega and that unfortunately just running Delhi, yeah, this looks like a really bad race for Flag overall.
For Flag.
Blue being insta thrown, but
wait, are they top 4?
The Zog are top 4, yes.
Oh, that makes sense for them to hold it.
Yeah, we do see, I believe, Waluigi, no, actually Billiam being blued there, but that's nowhere near enough.
It doesn't matter, but it's still getting top 4.
Here we were talking about small races, and then just, yeah, Waffle House was holding this entire time in 10th. We were talking about those small races, small leads, and then here Zog comes with a full +29 race.
Yep. What tracks do you expect them to see in top 4?
For Zog or for Flag?
For Zog, their top
For
4.
yeah, no, I mean like now after the top four.
Actually for Flag. Actually for Flag. Probably more interesting.
For Flag, I'm expecting something like Strobens or Super Sky Courtyard. Like that's the moment where you want to pull those out, those really big bagging tracks, those big shortcuts that you can't really. Someone in top 4 will, or one or two more people in top 4 will have to bag for that, and that's pretty much your win con here, trying to split that running top 4 right at the start of the race.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for Zog, pretty much any running track in their list goes, like GPA PC2, Shroom Ridge, like Banshee Boardwalk, Luigi's Mansion, any of those. They do have quite a few good running picks, I will say, alongside among those retros.
Yeah. They also have Sunset Walls, which could be a decent running track as well. But they can also choose off list if they want, like Aquadron Stage, Solar Edition.
Oh, TikTok actually. For once Zog is the one picking off the list. They're going onto Dag's track list to pick TikTok Clock, really well-known running track, and Super Sky Courtyard, Strobens Illusion. But unfortunately, Mr. Bean not doing them any favors.
Mr. Bean probably like retros, I guess. I'm kind of excited to see what happens here. Like, it could be tough for a break, or something could happen like mid-race. So we'll see.
Malware is gonna have to break that eventually. Ooh, two people actually, both Billiam and Malware being bumped at the start. Billiam choosing to bag for 8th. They're probably trying to get Bill for his bagger there. But Zog is only top 2 now, so actually, their top slots being broken. Oh, actually, no, only one of them is up there.
Only Rick. He's by himself, unfortunately.
Nice back into Cedar there.
Nice snipe from. Yep.
Rick is the only one up there, though. I don't know what happened. A lot of, possibly just a lot of Zog being hit out there, but that's 2-3-4 for Flag. Definitely not what you expect at the start of TikTok Clock there.
It looks like 498 is like gone 10, so Waffle House should like this chain in 9, but hopefully get shocked there.
Definitely pretty big if you're Flag there. He just respawned, so neither bagger has Bowser chaining at the clock set here. Might be hiding. I think he has it. I think he's just hiding. He's not chaining or anything.
Yeah, I think he is chaining.
Ooh, with that star, definitely, if Bowser has shock, it could definitely be pretty big if he's chaining into last set here. It depends on what Zog has. Really nice back onto Billiam.
Nice green.
Shock should happen right now if it is on Flag's side. Ooh, interesting. Either that or they're waiting for the end here, really. Possibly calling out Billiam out of star here. That's exactly what they're doing. Deli dodging in Mega as well. That should be maybe.
Yeah, so it should be a top 2. Oh.
Great job by Rick backing out Deli here, but that's still going to be first. But Zog.
That's 2-3-4.
Getting 2-3-4 out of Flag's shock there. Deli not expecting that insta trail from Rick. Great job from him. So yeah, but that's barely winning for Flag, I believe, that by like 1 point. Real unfortunate seeing the start of that. Rick just managing to back Caesar and then back out Deli, keeping his team in the race here. That's a 1-4-5-8 for Flag. Nowhere near enough to chip away at that. Yeah, nowhere near enough to chip away at that lead.
Yeah.
It is interesting to, I will say though, it is interesting to see Zog going off list already, because they do still have some really good running tracks that they've practiced across the season, so maybe they want to save those in the case of a match 3, seeing as they are ahead already. Alright, so Sunset Wilds back on list already. Big Nature City, both pretty expected picks. Oh, actually, is Big Nature City even on? Oh, it is on Flag's.
Yeah.
Okay, it is on Flag's list. It is on Flag's list this time.
Oh, it is.
Alright, gonna depend on who gets some shrooms here early. Those 2 shroom cuts at the start save a ton, really.
Yeah. I would expect someone to get triple shrooms. Or maybe someone to like bag first set and try to get Bill.
Possibly. I do see a lot of flag going forward, actually. Someone fell off already, but trip shrooms on the side of Rick. Pretty much the one item you really need.
Yeah, it's pretty huge coming from him.
We do see Marvin.
Seems like Marvin's taking cut as well as Kevin.
I see flag on those bagging tracks, just always having like 3 in the front. Not exactly what you always want here. A bit of bumping, I feel, on Flag's side here, but Marvin being gone in first by now.
He probably pulled triple shrooms as well.
Kevin has some right behind him. Perfect dodge
nice
of that
dodge
back from there. Caesar denying the draft. Only having 1 shroom, yeah, means you're pretty much forced to do one of those cuts here, one of those less optimal ones, but you can't really do much about that. Green being thrown, bouncing back, not hitting anyone. Zog in really decent spots overall, unless Caesar can pull something like more triple shrooms. But he pulls a TC.
He pulled a TC.
He managed to pass it, we'll see, but both baggers still sitting at the start, so...
No. I think one is going forward. Or is that the runner?
Oh, no, you're right. One of them... wait, are you... No, that is Marvin. That's just Marvin being in front, but... Malware does have Bill, so... Shock shouldn't take too long to pull, really. Yeah, choosing to stay extremely safe with that Bill.
Yeah. Good play from him. And he also used Bill right now.
Possibly shocking Zog after set, maybe?
Someone does have shock, I'm not sure.
Well, one of the baggers, both baggers actually going forward there. So...
Yes, soon Zog should have shock.
Yeah, you would have expected him to use there with Flag, getting into set and bottom spots, and Malware with the Bill there. But they're 2-3-4, they're not going to call right away. Maybe a TS onto the last ramp for Marvin if they're close enough?
Maybe. I'll probably say that might be the best play.
Okay. Yeah, with their only dodge could potentially being like 6 or a Mega in 4th, so that's probably the one play they're going for. They're far enough ahead. Really nice.
Nice knife come from Malware or someone.
That was Malware onto Kevjin, but yeah, holding onto that shock. 2, 3, 5, 6, maybe Mega dodge at the end, maybe?
And lucky the blue didn't go for Malware at the end.
Maybe an attempt at a shock blue that was timed a bit too late, maybe.
Yeah, so too late coming from ZogZhit. But 2, 3, 5, 6 still winning race, just like extending their lead by a little bit more.
Marvin trying to get to put on Caesar's Caesar's role in the first match, currently on 53, but unfortunately, just not able. Flag not able to get back into the front here. But I will say,
it looks like Deli's having a hard time right now.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. It's on 13 points after 5 races. You definitely have to feel bad for him. But I will say though, I am surprised to see Flag play those backing tracks this way, because we've seen a lot of moments where pretty much 3 members go into the top 4 here on something like Big Nature, on something like T-Crow Volcano, and that bites them hard on those tracks. So I don't know if that's maybe it's just a lack of communication on their end, maybe just not realizing how powerful that bagging can be at the start, but hopefully we'll see that change as we move on to Lava Lake. Is Lava Road on list?
I think it is.
It is, okay. It's on Zog's track list, so thankfully no pen even if it was picked. But regardless, Sunset Wild's going to come out for Zog. Up 33. That's a big running track though for Zog there, if they can manage to keep onto that onto the top slots.
It seems like Marvin's able to keep first. Or... No, I lied.
Yeah, the Sunset Wells, big 2-3 track, and as we see... Oh, actually, Marvin gets back ahead, maybe with a draft or something along those lines. It's really close in the mid-pack. No boxes for Malware, unfortunately, but 2-3-4 for Zog. Or, actually, Waldugi... No, Waldugi shroomed up, so Marvin only in second now.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate blooper for Malware.
Some just trying snipes coming out. Marvin having to fight off like 3 different Zog members. Oh, and that Mega is going to be enough.
That Mega going for Marvin. He's trying to go for Malware as well. We'll see what happens, but it's too late.
Thankfully misses him. Malware trying to take Marvin's spot in the top pack here, but not going for that
bump. But that bump allows ZogZhit to get top 2, and Malware unfortunately pulling TC.
Yeah, just him not going for that Shroomless just allows Billiam to get ahead, and that just loses him so much time there. But he does pass it, and Shrooms away. That is big.
That's really huge coming from Malware.
There are 3-4. We do see.
We see Marvin.
I do believe we see one of the baggers just respawned actually, and the other is gone in 10. So Bowser is gone in 10, and he's just stopped.
He could have the shot. This could be huge for Flag.
Probably just hoping that Caesar gets a dodge here of any kind to start. No, he gets the box.
Wait, no,
A red. Shock into last set, maybe. It's really awkward. It's gonna be a really awkward shock if they do have it golden.
I mean, it's kind of. Wait, 2 people failed.
One ZogZhit member, but I do believe it is it is also one Flag member, I believe. I did see 2 of Zog members in the top 3 there. A really big race. That's a huge race from Zog, actually. I believe that is top 3 for Zog, even with Billiam getting hit out there. Yeah, that is top 3-7 for Zog.
Yeah, that's huge. Flag needs to do something about it like right now, or else it's over.
52 ahead. We're just gonna see if any more running track picks are chained for Zog. It could be Curtains here already. We talked about being both teams being somewhat reliant on their track picks, but Zog showing that maybe that's not as true for them, since they've been more successful on Flag's track picks than Flag has been on Zog's track picks, really.
Yeah.
Alpine Peak, one of the more quote-unquote CT picks that Zog has, and SDI, the rogue SDI. The rogue SDI due to not having it on the secret track, but that's still pretty much serves the same purpose that Super Sky would in that situation, even if more teams are familiar with SDI than Super Sky in my experience.
Let's see how ZogZhit do here.
I do expect at least 2 people bagging here. Marvin going to try and barrel into the front here, backing some of those nanas. We do see Zog in 2-3-4 actually, so I was about to say Flag in some bottom spots, so right as we switch over, Caesar falling off, and Deli hitting
getting hit by a Shy Guy.
Man, Malware hit it as well, so unfortunately 2 of Flag's members that could have been up there are just end up in the bottom half of the pack here, as Deli and Marvin are the only one up there in 2-4. Could have been 1-4, I believe. I do think Marvin drafted. Yeah, Marvin is ahead.
Now I gotta watch out for the bomb cars. There you go.
Right on cue, Murray, as Deli is thrust out of that top 4 here, and Rick with that golden could do huge damage to Flag's chances at the start of the lap.
Yep.
Marvin is the only one in first still.
Watch out for a tornado, buddy.
Really close. Early shock coming out from... That's
really definitely Flag shock.
Really good shot from Flag right as Marvin makes the cut, dodging Malware in a star there. Pow coming out, trying to target Pow. Some of Flag maybe getting shrooms out of them. Rick, no boxes is pretty huge. coming onto that cut section here. Caesar with the Mega. Fl2g is still not out of the woodworks yet. Another shock.
Another
And
shot.
not sure
I'm
who's
not
used that
sure.
this time. Did Caesar call that too late? I believe Bowser got shocked, so not exactly sure what happened here.
But blue holding. And yeah. Caesar holding the
Yeah.
blue. I assume Marvin's still in first.
Yeah, it's 3-4-5, so it might just be it's 1-3 for Fl2g right now. That bomb,
With that bomb.
that's
Kind of
lag.
did some
That's really
damage.
unfortunate.
That's lag, yeah.
Deli getting hit two out of 2 laps onto those. Gotta feel bad if
Yeah.
you're him. 2 of those were definitely lagged
Yeah.
as well.
It's like Mauer got blue in mid spot. Someone's probably dragging it blue. It's
Slips
still
away from under you.
doable. It's still doable, but yeah. They need to do something about this like right now, or else it's over for them. Like
Well, Cruel Angel Thesis also works. And the SDK pass, there it is. I was waiting for this one. This is like pretty much one of the Zog specials. I'm pretty sure that are they the only teams that drafted that this season? I would not be surprised if so.
was Super Sky Courtyard?
No, the SDK pass.
No, that's ASY track pick.
Really?
Yeah, but we
Oh,
never. No, actually, no, we did choose it against.
Oh, my mistake then. It's one.
No,
Hey, go ahead.
I think we chose it against Flag. Not Flag, ZogZhit, but like we couldn't finish because we DC'd.
Unfortunate. But I've seen Zog pick this quite a bit during the previous season, so I'm actually shocked that it's not on their list, in all honesty. But regardless, Zog in bottom 2, just trying to get those early boxes there. Triple shrooms and...
Triple shrooms, yeah.
Someone fell off already. Might be Marvin? I think it might be Marvin actually falling.
It could be him. It seems like a bag already made backwards past the ramp, and it's Waffle. No, it's Bowser 498.
Bowser gone in 10 already. Maybe pulling a golden or something along those lines, but Caesar hitting that wall definitely not help Fl2g's chances there. Nice attempt with the fib, not giving me enough. That Nana also.
Wait, hold up. I think
Caesar
Waffle House put in 9th. Did he? Or he's just chaining?
It's tough to tell really on the mini map, but Caesar playing really aggressively with those items there. Unfortunately, none of them connecting.
Oh, he almost fell off.
Doesn't back caption. Right here could be devastating if Zog gets like 1-3-4 up there. Oh well.
Nice bomb coming from Caesar.
Good luck avoiding that one. But
Zog is still holding to top 2.
And that's all you need really at this point in the war.
Yeah. I don't think Waffle House has shock yet, so I'm not too sure about 498 though.
I believe he's just chaining in 9. Deli pulling a TC in 3rd, another one. But he does pass to Billiam actually.
Yep.
Billiam does get ooh, gotta be careful with that green. He does connect.
Another nice snipe.
Great job. So that's 2-3-4 for Fl2g actually going into that lap 3. Oh goodness. Caesar is scaring us a bit with those greens. Thankfully, none of them coming back to hit him, but he does hit that Nana. Chooses to let Malware pass there. Yeah, Malware had shrooms already. That blue is huge.
That blue is huge.
Oh, TC being used, and that's dodging Marvin as well.
Well, also dodge one of ZogZhit members.
No, actually, I believe it was a blue cancel from Zog. Marvin just happens to dodge in a bill there. But
nice prediction.
Two dodges from Zog, but that's nowhere near enough. Marvin's in first, sorry. Deli and
it's really gonna be a 1-3-4 from Fl2g.
1-2-4-8. Unfortunately, Caesar that CC wrecking his race, but great dodge from Marvin, getting himself into first here. That blue cancel being a bit too obvious of a call there, but it makes sense if you're Zog. You want to hold on to those top slots as much as you can, but unfortunately comes back to bite you since none of your dodgers are able to really get into that top 4.
Marvin on 89 after 8, bro, it's popping off.
That 51 point GP definitely showing up. 48. So that's a plus 9 race. going into that final GP there. Plus 12 per race on average. Definitely still in the realm of doable, but it would be a pretty large comeback regardless.
Yeah, they need like top 2 for like every race.
Something along those lines. And
Color Wonderland coming from Fl2g and Alpine Peak coming from ZogZhit.
That's another big tech track that I was expecting from Fl2g. They do love picking that one. Able to mess up a lot of teams, really, especially in lower divs. Not many people are used to taking that big cut at the end there, and we're gonna have to see if Fl2g can make up on that. Alright, let's see it here. A bit of unfortunately for Zog not getting the draft here. It's going to be a duel between Marvin and Waluigi at the start. Throwing a green up, but it's not going to be enough. Waluigi gets trailed, so it's top 2 for Fl2g there. Waluigi still trying to get into that front here. And that trick up there, messing with Rick a little bit. A lot of bumping happening in the mid pack for a Zog. And Deli's head out.
Yep.
Actually.
Oh, see that Bill in 4th.
Yeah, managing to smuggle that Bill in 4th with just everyone dying around him.
Yeah, I didn't know he pulled Bill, but he wants to use it right now, trying to get up there with Marvin.
Two of Zog's members dying to the cut, so with that build lasting as long as it has, Caesar and Marvin are just gone top 2 now.
Yeah, at least as long as nothing happens, like they should get top 2 guaranteed.
Would probably higher time.
Oh.
Never mind. Caesar distracted a little bit too much by that
I guess
red.
I spoke too soon.
Quite unfortunate because it would have been top 4 guaranteed for Fl2g, but now it's a lot closer.
Not only top. I think they're top 3.
They're definitely top 3, but I doubt Caesar is anywhere close now after that fall off. Can we maybe switch POV to see where he is after the top 3? Yeah, gone in last 9 seconds. Alright, but let's switch back to maybe a mid-pack POV from Zog to try and see how they deal with that top 3. Triple Shrooms. Usually that would... Oh, we do see both members of Zog going for that big cut there. Waluigi failing once again.
It seems like one of them makes it with his red and still holding his triple shrooms.
Will we see...
Will you go for cut? Will you go for cut? Oh.
Well, we see the turn skip in D5. It'd definitely be something, that's for certain, but... either way, oh, nice, actually,
never mind.
Not going for it, obviously, that is expected, and Rick actually falling off there.
He fell off because he streamed off, yep.
Caesar chaining, trying to get a dodge or something, maybe. We do see that both baggers are going forward, so one of them definitely has. Marvin fell off, actually.
Marvin fell off.
Both teams just falling off quite a bit on this track here. Caesar has the Shroom Pass, tries to be a bit of a hero here. They need big races. Deli and Malware in top 2. If he can make that cut, it's going to be close.
Top 2-4.
Oh, never mind. Mega, yeah, he is not getting past Billiam here. Billiam trying to Mega him fully. So it looks
after match 2?
Yeah, match 2, they win by 34. So we're going into a match 3 here for DNC and Pancake.
Nice.
We'll have to see if this D4 final, D4 finals is D5 finals is as close to D4 finals. Shoko Island 2. Here's another retro that we don't see quite a lot of, really. Undiscovered limit not being picked. Thankfully, personally, I'm not really a fan of that track, but Shoko Island 2 having that one shroomless, which gave birth to quite the infamous clip in CTL. A lot of people failing that. We'll have to see if hopefully Fl2g don't suffer the same fate.
So Rick opting to back for a set, try and pull shrooms or dodge.
Something along those lines. Losing a bit of time in the process. Caesar getting that box 8 as well. I do believe he pulled shrooms and has maybe chosen to burn them. Oh, that is quite a bit of delay. But regardless, Fl2g actually in pretty decent spots overall. Oh, never mind.
Deli fell shrooms, unfortunately.
And there's the cut I was talking about. Unfortunately, it's not really that it's hard in and of itself. It's just that a lot of teams just don't have any practice on it because no one picks this track. There's the blue shell for
Exactly.
Malware, unfortunate, and Rick should just get into first here with that shroom.
But I think Marvin has another red. No?
I'm not certain, but either way, we're gonna have to see right here. I'm expecting it after those plants if it is.
I could have sworn he did, but he probably used it already.
Either that or just a green, possibly. Malware making that Cockatoo shrooms.
But Deli getting TC'd after failing Shroomless. Wait, can you make Shroomless small?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty certain that you cannot manage this to power red him at least, but Flag in pretty bad spots overall. Shock is used by Flag. Caesar dodging into
Even
Bill. He's
though
gonna
it
get...
first. Oh.
Rick gets blued. That's huge. Marvin in top 2 alongside him. Malware Redding, pretty sure it was Waluigi or something along those lines, or Kebjin maybe. But either way, Pack being pretty close now. Thankfully, no one failing to cut this time. Zog in 3-4-5.
If he could push Shrooms. Oh, never mind. He got back bomb.
Back bombed anyway.
As well as Deli, so it's gonna be like a top 2, bottom 2 most likely from Flag.
Something along those lines. We'll have to see if anyone gets hit in those top 2. No, Marvin, thankfully keeping on to second here. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it does look like a top 2, bottom 2 for Flag. Unfortunately, not the race you need in this context, even if it is winning.
Yeah, just pray that Bowser Fortnite gets 9th.
Yeah, no, that shock absolutely saved them. Caesar dodging in a Bill and then barely not getting targeted by that blue.
Top 2, bottom 2. 10. Yeah, that's a +3 for Flag, so if we get 2 more bigger races, then yeah, they should be fine going to match 3.
Yeah, pretty much comes down to this race, really, to see if we go down to match 3 or not. Any winning race from Zog pretty much seals it.
Yeah. Right now they're down by 28, so I have a feeling Flag got this. I'm not being biased, but they got this.
Well, it really depends on the track pick here. If Super Sky is picked out, that could be the unfamiliarity that they need, and there's Bluster Bluff.
Where's that Canada
at? We were talking about it quite a bit. We were expecting it, and there it finally is. Probably one of their most unconventional track picks. But no, Flag actually...
With Sky Courtyard.
Thankfully, getting that track pick right as they need it. That is pretty much the one place where I needed the most. So we'll have to see. It depends really on who is able to take the big cut at the start, like the golden strats. If any of them are able to take that, it'll be pretty much gone in first already. Malware, but Flag once again, they're just all going. None of them are staying in the back. None of them are pulling the shrooms they need. We do see Deli going.
We see two taking cut.
Yeah, Deli took a mega, but everyone from Zog is just going to be able to get their shrooms, the stars, everything they need. Thankfully, those triple reds from Malware allowing him to punish that start cut, but thankfully those item pulls by Malware salvage that poor decision at the start. But I believe Flag are still like 2, 3, 4. I do believe someone from Zog is in.
Yeah, they're 2, 3, 4. Flag is.
Yeah, Marvin Caesar and Malware in 2, 3, 4. Deli gone and last.
Deli's an 8 for the star. And Fortnite 8th and 10th by a little bit.
Yeah, usually that track, especially at the start when it comes to bagging, is pretty much decided by mere inches. But that Mega could do a lot of damage here depending on how Malware chooses to use it. He might be forced in. He is. Marvin gets hit out, shrooms forward, and is off after that actually. But thankfully, he doesn't get the trick. He shrooms a bit too late. He does not make it. That is really unfortunate.
And Captain's holding it blue. Assuming that's someone in ZogZhit in first.
Pretty much gonna have to hold it this entire race. Malware with that back bomb could get Waluigi out, but Marvin is right behind him, so quite the tough call to make overall. Decides to let him pass for the time being, possibly into a snipe right there. Is dodged by Waluigi, unfortunately for Fl2g. And just 1-3 for Zog, 1-3-6-8 I believe, or something along those lines. We do see one bagger respawning and one chaining it in though, so...
Ooh, that's a close snipe. Coming for Caesar.
Was definitely close. With how jumbled the spots are, neither team would risk going for a cannon shock, I assume. Ooh, Rick hitting an island first. He's thankfully having enough of a break, really, for it not to matter. We might want to switch to someone else while he's still this far gone into first.
And it seems like no one went for cut on lap 3 at all.
Pretty much no one. Malware managed to get a hit out, but they're still 2-4-5. So it's nowhere near enough for Fl2g, really. Throwing that round to Waluigi. Caesar holding on to second. Can't really do much more. Waluigi's off. He is off. He got hit by the chomp, so that's now 2-3-4 for Fl2g. That's already much better. If Shock is pulled, then maybe.
If you shock like after Rick get off the cannon, that could be a 1-3-4.
That is pretty much your one chance. We'll have to see. No
And
shock
it's not.
used. And actually, we do see Zog using shock. They get 1-3, and Malware hitting that, and he's to get 7th. Yeah, that is curtains for Fl2g. Unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately for them.
Zog does pull that last shock, Billiam dodges, and that is a 1-3, possibly like 5-6 or something along those lines for Zog on Fl2g's signature track.
But that was only +1.
Oh, that is only +1. Yeah, 1-3, 1-3-6-8 actually. Malware did mostly got passed by his teammates actually. So while it's not as big as it may seem, we're still down 29 going into that last race. We need a top.
They need a top 4-9. Because Bowser can't run, so they need a top 4-9.
Exactly, they need a top four to at the very least tie here. Depending on bag or point, it will be either winning or tie. But yeah, Bowser, seeing as he is a bag clause for this team, cannot run because it is technically winnable, winnable even with him bagging. So we'll have to see what the last race is. Glimmer Express Train or Alpine Peak. Interesting. Trying that Glimmer will possibly be one of the most tech-heavy tracks in this pack, really. So they're trying to hit Zog where it hurts, and they do manage to get it.
They probably should chose some like Fire Factory, but
that could have been an option as well. I do believe they're enough in the fronts that they can try and contest at the start on like this first rail, for example.
Actually, yeah.
Have to see Malware not getting a box.
No, he's not getting a box.
Top 2 for Zog. A lot of chaos on the rail.
There's a lot of bumping, which forced Dylan Malware to take the safe route.
That's bad, especially considering that Malware hasn't boxed. So Zog in great spots starting us off here. Might want to switch off Malware here. He's probably going to be stuck until the cut at the very least.
But he could put... You see Malware with the star, Rick holding 5th and 5th.
Caesar in second right now.
Second. Right now, Fl2g is top 2. But that's definitely not enough.
Cut is being taken by a lot of members from both teams here. Waluigi hitting the wall there. Captain being bumped by Malware, so it's 3-4 for Fl2g. 1-3-4, I believe, with Malware still being in first.
Oh no, I forgot Billions in second. I thought they were top 4 at second, but...
Thankfully for Zog, not. But I believe Billiam fills the cut, actually, so it's top 2, but there's another
there's a blue going from Marvin. Unfortunate.
And that shroom is huge. Thankfully, Deli managed to hit Banana.
It's looking like 1-4 for Fl2g.
Something along those lines. Great power call from Fl2g there. Have to see if they can capitalize on it. Maybe hit out 2-3. They need top 4 here. They need to hit out those spots. A lot of pressure on Caesar and Deli here.
They'll often
Deli,
go around, play safe.
does Rick do the same? No, Rick gets onto the rail, so he's gonna get into first. Oh,
Oh,
actually,
I see. That's smart. That's pretty smart.
great shot call from Fl2g there, but the respawn is good, so it's not as big as it could be. Caesar does dodge in a Mega, I believe, so it's top 2 for
Just
Fl2g.
top 2 for now, but that's not enough though. They need top 4.
Malware also dodged. If they can hit a Rick, it could be a start. Quite the tough call to make overall. You pretty much have to side snipe him, seeing as he has that trail. Ricky's probably playing as safe as possible. Nice room pull. But
That's
we do
true.
see
I
someone
think
else
one to
getting
put
moved.
Hedstrom as well.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe one around. Caesar.
Oh, it seems like
Caesar
Caesar
failed.
failed. Oh, that's not good.
That's awkward. Billiam, Rick getting into 2-3 here. Where's that green going? And Waluigi also in fourth, so Zog occupying 3 of the 4 spots that Fl2g need to even tie this up. And Billiam, so 2, 3, 4, 5 for Zog now. Great back onto Rick. And we'll have to see if it's enough. They need a shock, they need dodges, they need something along those lines to really be able to make it. No dodges, but yeah,
No
Marvin.
dodges.
If Marvin's not dodging, that means Fl2g doesn't have shock.
Yes, curtains.
Zog gets redded, but we do see that they get second,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So Billion getting second. So yeah, it's GG's for Flag.
Curtains overall, yeah, Delhi in last. Overall, great attempt from Fl2g, especially after that's top 2, 4, 6 at the start of the GP, but nowhere near enough.
It wasn't enough to get ZogZhit out.
ZogZhit staying quite dominant overall over the course of that match, I will say. Definitely,
Yeah.
they've lost the lead like a single time in the entire sets, it feels like.
Yeah, I thought that minus 20 pin gonna do any damage, but it didn't help Flag out at all. Like they kept like increasing their lead in match 1.
We'll have to see. Yes, possibly
If they want
interviewing a
to.
few members of ZogZhit. I can drag them. I'll ping them. Zog interview. They do. They just get into the general. Just asking real quick, but yeah, overall, great performance from Zog. They were the first seed going into this, but only by quite a bit. But they were in a hot streak going into the end of the season, and it showed. It followed during the playoffs. A lot of teams on a hot streak at the end of the season can maybe cool off a little bit since they have to wait for a bit before playing again, since they can't play semis. But Zog showing that they are not suffering from that pain, really. None of them are responding. Might not get an interview. Oh.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, they're all pressed for time, unfortunately. So we're going to have to end without an interview.
Oh, so no cast from Dag not Dag from Flag as well. So, okay.
Yeah, quite unfortunate, but regardless, it was quite the fun match to cast. Regardless of that, great performance from both teams. Really, Flag fighting till the bitter end, and Zog just showing exactly why they were considered the favorites going into those playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words for us, Murray, before we sign off?
No, but ZogZhit did do a really good job no matter what track it was. Like like whether it was a jank track, retro, or whatever. They just found a way to get good spots. So yeah, that's really impressive coming from them.
Yeah, they're definitely shaking off the reputation they had of just being retro merchants and showing that they can get good races even on tracks that they're less comfortable with, that are more techy than what they're used to, even with the introduction of tracks like Cryo Volcano and Bluster into their rotation.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, that's all.
Yeah, I believe that would be all for us, folks. I believe the match, the D4 finals actually are still going on at the moment. They're on race 6, so get onto the CTL Twitch to catch the end of that match if you want to. It looks like a pretty good nail biter. But aside from that, appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you, Murray, for co-casting this with me. It's been a
No
pleasure.
problem. I might just join a D4 call, to be honest.
We'll have to see. Either way, see you guys later, and